If you're a competitive gamer looking for the best TV for playing video games, you'll want the best performance possible. Manufacturers have been trying to improve their TV gaming performance to compete with monitors in recent years. To help you find the perfect model, we've compiled a list of the 5 best 4K gaming TVs. Be sure to check link in the description below for prices and additional details. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the bell icon for the latest tech updates. Now, without further ado, let's dive in. Number 5. Samsung S90C OLED. The best TV for gaming we've tested is the Samsung S90C OLED. It's a feature-packed TV that delivers an incredible gaming experience. Its low input lag and nearly instantaneous response time result in crystal-clear, fluid motion with no distracting blur or ghosting behind fast-moving objects. The TV delivers impressive picture quality thanks to its unique QD-OLED panel. It delivers incredibly deep blacks, making this an impressive TV for gaming in a dark room. HDR gaming on the Samsung is amazing, but it doesn't support Dolby Vision, although relatively few games support it anyway. It also looks great in bright rooms, with high peak brightness, allowing it to easily overcome glare. Its viewing angle is incredibly wide, so it's a great choice for playing couch co-op or party games with friends sitting around the TV. All 4 HDMI inputs support 4K ARA 144 Hz, so you can take full advantage of a PS5, Xbox Series SX, and a recent PC GPU without compromising motion performance or input lag. If you have deep pockets and are looking for the best, no matter the cost, consider the higher-tier Samsung S95C OLED, which is even brighter. However, considering how bright and colorful the S90C already is, the S95C is not worth the significant price hike for most people. Number 4. Sony Bravia 9 QLED. If you regularly game in a bright room or want a TV that will impress your friends during a well-lit party, the best 4K TV for gaming in a bright room that we've tested is the Sony Bravia 9 QLED. It's also the best LED TV we've ever tested. It's incredibly bright, so this TV easily overcomes glare in the brightest rooms, and it can display exceptionally bright highlights in HDR games. Speaking of HDR, the TV supports Dolby Vision gaming at up to 120 Hz, which is great for those with an Xbox. Colors are also very vibrant and lifelike due to the TV's wide color gamut and outstanding color volume. One of its main advantages over other LED TVs is its contrast. With local dimming enabled, the TV delivers incredibly deep blacks in a dark room that are approaching the deepness you get from OLED TVs like the Samsung S90C OLED. The local dimming control on the TV is very impressive, so there's barely any noticeable blooming around bright highlights when they're against a dark background. Not only does the TV offer exceptional picture quality, but it's also loaded with bright highlights in HDR games. Speaking of HDR, the TV supports Dolby Vision gaming at up to 120 Hz, which is great for those with an Xbox. Colors are also very vibrant and lifelike due to the TV's wide color gamut and outstanding color volume. One of its main advantages over other LED TVs is its contrast. With local dimming enabled, the TV delivers incredibly deep blacks in a dark room that are approaching the deepness you get from OLED TVs like the Samsung S90C OLED. The local dimming control on the TV is very impressive, so there's barely any noticeable blooming around bright highlights when they're against a dark background. Not only does the TV offer exceptional picture quality, but it's also loaded with modern gaming features. It has HDMI 2.1 bandwidth on 2 of its ports. But one of those ports is also the EARC port, so you're limited if you have both next-gen consoles, and a soundbar. The TV supports up to 4K, ARA 120 Hz, and VRR, for a nearly tear-free gaming experience, meaning it's fully compatible with modern consoles. Fast motion in games has minimal blur behind it due to Number 3. HighSense U7N U7, U7 If you'd like the Sony Bravia 9 QLED or LG B3 OLED but are tight on money, you can step down to the best lower mid-range gaming TV we've tested, the HighSense U7N. Despite its price, the TV is packed with gaming features. It has HDMI 2.1 bandwidth on 2 of its ports, both capable of up to 4K or 144 Hz. It also has VRR support and auto low latency mode, ALLM, so you're fully covered if you own either an Xbox Series X or S or a PS5. Motion in fast-paced games has minimal blur behind it thanks to the TV's excellent response time, and its incredibly low input lag means there's no noticeable delay between the inputs on your controller and the action on screen. The TV isn't as bright as the Sony Bravia 9 QLED, but it's still very bright, and it has amazing reflection handling, so it overcomes glare when gaming in a bright room. If you also game in a dark room, the TV's excellent contrast delivers deep blacks, although there's noticeable blooming around, bright highlights when they're against a dark background. Highlights in HDR games really stand out, and colors are vibrant due to the TV's excellent HDR brightness and wide color gamut, delivering an impactful HDR experience. It also supports Dolby Vision gaming for those with an Xbox. Unfortunately, its viewing angle is very narrow, so it's not the best choice to play party games with a big group of friends or family. Number 2. TCL Q5 Q550G QLED TV. The best budget 4K TV for gaming we've tested is the Best Buy exclusive TCL Q550G QLED. It's a decent TV that delivers an impressive gaming experience thanks to its low input lag and good response time, ensuring a smooth gaming experience with some but not excessive blur. It has HDMI 2.0 bandwidth on all its ports, but what sets this budget model apart is 1080p, a 120 Hz, and 1440p. Over 120 Hz support on the 55-inch and 65-inch models, with resolution halving with a wide VRR range. It's hard to notice the drop in picture quality from resolution halving unless you really look for it, so it's a great feature, making it one of the cheapest TVs on the market with a 120 Hz refresh rate. It also supports Dolby Vision at 60 Hz, another great feature for a budget model. Still, it has worse picture quality than the more expensive models on this list. With worse contrast due to the lack of a local dimming feature, it gets bright overall and is quite colorful, but without local dimming, it can't truly emphasize bright highlights. And like the other models from TCL, it has a disappointing viewing angle, so it's again not great for a wide seating arrangement. Nevertheless, it's an impressive TV for gaming thanks to its low input lag and decent response time. It's a great bang-for-the-buck option for gamers, but if you'd like a slightly brighter TV, consider the TCL Q650G QLED, though it is a bit more expensive. Still, they're very similar, so the Q5 is the better value overall. Number 1. Roku Select Series. If you want something affordable, the Roku Select Series is the best TV for gaming that's viable for small budgets. It's a decent TV that's a small step down from the TCL Q550G QLED, as it can't do 120 Hz, like that TV can. Its contrast is okay, especially for a TV at this price point, so it looks adequate in a dark room, even without local dimming. That's a good thing since the TV doesn't get bright. Enough in HDR for rooms with lots of lights, even with its decent reflection handling. It's bright enough for moderately lit rooms, though, especially when playing SDR titles since its SDR brightness is very good. A great feature of this TV is the sheer amount of models available, from a small 24-inch to a big 75. Remember that the 24 and 32-inch models are limited to a 720p resolution, and the 40-inch model is limited to 1080p. The bigger sizes are 4K TVs. The Roku is light on features. It doesn't have VRR, is limited to a 60 Hz refresh rate, and doesn't support a 1440p resolution. Still, its spectacular input lag and great response time make it a good TV for gamers. However, like many other LED TVs, there's a noticeable black smear in shadow details due to the TV's slower dark state transitions. but you won't have any issues with slower and brighter titles. If you're a Costco member, you'll instead want to get the slightly better and more colorful HighSense A6 A65K.